Hey everybody, it's Ray from the Comedy Food Truck Podcast. Thanks for stopping by. It's the end of April and spring has hopefully sprung. The weather's nice. You should be outside soaking up the sun. But before you do that, why don't you sit down for a minute and take in the podcast. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, enjoy this great show and then go outside and get some sun.
Did you say YouTube?
YouTube. YouTube.
You're listening to the Comedy Food Truck Podcast. We talk life, food, relationships, and have fun with all of it.
It's like sonar beams from the submarine.
And now here's your host, comedian John Hill.
That's it. Welcome to the best part of your day. I'm trying to see how long I can keep a straight face on that. No, you know what? I want to say thank you because there have been several folk who have come along at various times and said that they listened to a lot of episodes, and I mean it's been cool.
Yeah.
Some have even talked about how we offended them.
Right.
Not really offended them, but you know we're not offensive. But but you know it's been fun to hear from people. I don't know, they listen to it like when they're driving to work, and you know it's kind of an interesting thing to think about. Getting somebody sort of out of a headspace that might be toxic because they get a chance to laugh a little bit.
Right.
Well, hopefully laugh. I don't know. I think our laughs per minute have slowed way back. But and in light of that, you know, I'd like to think that we could offer some more intelligent content, but you know, still working on that.
Content!
It's just like that. Just on time.
Raising the bar, Scott.
Spot right on time. Raising
I got
the
a mouth.
Raising the
Downing Reese's cups.
Wow.
I like chocolate.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
There's quality entertainment, folks.
yeah. It's like this close to a moment. And then it just went away. Just went away like a sparkler on 4th of July.
Yeah. Ray didn't like to be too serious for more than about a minute.
That's a record for me.
Right? I can always count on Ray to disrupt a serious meeting or like, this is getting too heavy. It's time to make it weird.
And if there's
All right, enough normalcy.
if there's anything that can take someone like Ray and calm them down, it's a truckload of Mountain Dew and some candy.
Yeah.
I said Mountain Dew because they're one of our sponsors. Yeah.
Product placement.
Yep.
What? You're gone.
There's a spelled Mountain DOO.
Mountain done.
It's Mountain Doo-Doo.
Mountain Dew.
Dude.
They say it twice because it gets you so hyped up. It's supposed to just be Mountain Dew, but then they're like, Mountain Dew. They do it twice.
Mountain Dew done did it.
Who done did it? Well, welcome to the show, everybody.
It's irregardless.
For all that it's worth. Thanks for being with us this spring. If you live in the hood. And everybody lives in the hood because everybody lives in a neighborhood. That's where the word hood comes from.
Right.
The neighborhood.
The hood.
Right. I'm just processing and coming with nothing. So, hey,
Yeah.
Jared's on the show.
I am.
What is up, man?
Oh, you know, this and that.
Because you can get with this, or you can get with that.
Yeah.
It's
It's like this and like that and like this, y'all.
I kick
that's
it?
And Jared, how has your day been?
Long.
I don't really care. We filmed this thing
Long.
3 weeks earlier. Stupid.
I had an amazing
That's a lame
Tuesday.
question.
Yeah.
We're not live. We're not live.
Let's take another call.
No, but seriously, things are good.
Things are good, man.
Okay.
Yeah. My youngest son and I went to WrestleMania a couple weeks ago
Nice.
at SoFi Stadium. It was 161,000 people packed in over 2 days.
Oh my gosh.
It was a lot.
And he came back with a bad haircut.
And Edgar.
Yeah. It was a great time, though. It's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime trip, especially for him. He'd never been to a pay-per-view, much less a WrestleMania. So
Wow.
it was sensory overload, but it was really cool.
It was a spectacle.
It was. It really was.
I'm sure it was.
Lots of standing and walking. The event started about 5 o'clock
Wow.
in the evening on both days, and we had to get there at 12
Oh my gosh.
to get in the parking lot on time.
You're kidding.
Both days.
Where was it at?
SoFi Stadium. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you have assigned seats and all that?
We had assigned seats, yeah.
Still have to
But
get there that
parking
early.
is, it's changed a lot since, I don't know if you've been down to SoFi since they built it, but
I've never been to SoFi.
yeah. Last time I went to the Forum, I think was 2002, somewhere around there. So
Oh, that's right, because it's in Inglewood.
right. It's right next to we parked at the Forum and then walked over to SoFi.
Wow.
So that whole area's changed quite a
It's
bit.
right next to the Forum, right?
Is
It's
it-
where the old
yeah,
Hollywood
Is that
racetrack
going to
was.
say?
Yeah, it's- yeah.
That was going to be my question. Is
Yeah.
it where Hollywood Park was?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then they're building the Clippers arena right across the street from that. So
Well, that's where you'll get to park next time.
right, yeah.
Just kidding.
There won't be nobody there to watch the game, so plenty of
Yeah.
parking.
Yeah. There's a game tonight. Oh, no, there'll be
was like-
plenty of parking.
Somebody's like, "That's the Clippers' new arena." I was like, "They still play?"
They play. They just don't win.
Right.
You know, but that's the way it
It's
goes.
too bad.
Yeah.
It's always the stepchild.
Well, you know.
Yep.
But they
Always a
beat
bridesmaid, never a
They
bride.
beat the Lakers like 17 games in a row
But
in the
not in the
regular
playoffs.
season. They've never been that far in the playoffs. But yeah, it won't happen. It's the same thing. They're already out by the time we record this episode.
Mhm. They gone.
They're already out.
There you go. Scotty.
Scotty,
Yo, what's up? See?
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Which is a weird way to ask a question because you're saying what's up and then you say see. So like you're
See?
showing me what's up. What's up? See?
I surprised you. See? That's what it's all about. Surprise. See?
Sneak attack.
Seek attack.
Sneak attack.
How's the
It's the Reese's, all right? It's still all in my mouth. Like
How
a
is
dog
it-
eating peanut butter.
how is it where the better half live?
Very good.
Very good.
Very
In
good.
in the community.
It's top drawer.
The listen, the appropriate answer when you say how is it where the better half lives is to say, man, it's all white.
It's raining white people.
That's it.
no.
It's
good.
It's like a winter wonderland. Yeah, it is good though.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scotty, for those who don't know or don't even live in this country, is sort of near the beach.
Mm-hmm.
He's closer to the beach than the rest of us. I know that.
Yeah.
So you get nicer weather, you know.
It still gets warm over here. It's not Inland
Yeah.
Empire hot, but it
Yeah.
gets
No,
hot.
it's not. Come on. You've lived in the Inland Empire. You can't even call it hot.
No, well,
It's 80 today. I saw a drop of sweat.
Right. Exactly.
It's unbearable.
Yeah.
I needed to put on a sweater around my neck in case it got a little breezy.
I almost had to wipe my forehead.
Foreign.
I was outside just talking to my neighbor, the Feebles.
If you didn't get that, listen to the last episode. I was just thinking you had to put on like your sunscreen. What is it, like SP 300?
SPF, yeah.
SPF
Yeah.
300.
SP Casper.
Goes on like paint. It goes on like you just spray it on like a can of spray paint.
And that's just to make you more. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm getting crazy. And then Ray's here. We know because he's been smacking on the candy. Yeah.
Jared loves that
Oh,
sound.
no.
Yeah.
I'm good, man.
He's all hopped up.
You know, and that's how the pros do it, John. They just eat a bunch of peanut butter and chocolate right before they got to do a bunch of talking.
Wow.
Nothing to chase it.
Nothing to chase it. It's because you downed your Mountain Dew before you had the candy. Yeah.
And Chippy was supposed to bring me another one. I don't know where he was at.
Chippy's doing our show today.
He is.
Yeah.
Chippy?
Chippy's bringing the topic.
Yep.
Chippy's our AI generated.
Oh, you
We
Nice.
named him Chippy.
Well, yeah,
Chip.
so that's a good segue.
Yeah.
Is that the right way to say that?
That
I'm
is.
just kidding.
Segway. Doesn't that the thing you ride on? It's always
It's
got the
actually
two wheels.
Segway.
Segway.
Mhm.
So Jared's got the topic today. So
Well, technically,
what are we
I don't.
doing here?
Chippy does.
What was your big discovery?
I've been having a lot of fun with this ChatGPT. Some of you, most of the people have probably heard of it, but I don't know if everybody's used it or not.
No, I haven't heard of it.
So
Where's like, does it? How do we know about this? Like, is this something that's on one of the social media channels, or is this?
Well, it's actually been in the news lately. There's some controversy because of what it can do. It's writing essay papers for people and that are in school
Oh,
and
nice.
all kinds of stuff. So
So now they're going to be even dumber than they already are.
right, yeah.
these
So if
kids.
you're
Or they'll
if
ban
you're-
it.
yeah, if you're in medical school, stop it. Do the work.
You got this, right, Dr. Shepard?
Right.
Yeah.
Hold on.
1 second. Hey, Google. 1 second.
Yeah, that's right. I better find a new proctologist.
Yeah.
Doc, that's not the right. Never mind.
So I've used it in. Oh gosh, Scott.
I'm glad we pointed that out.
Scott's sending signals to the whales.
I know. It always sounds like you're in a submarine when you do that. It's like Morse code going up to the surface. Okay.
So I've been using this to just have some fun with.
What does it do essentially?
So you can type in a request,
okay,
and it will write back whatever you tell it to write back.
It generates it.
Yeah, within reason.
Like
it does
a dictation device, like
parameters.
I would say a dictation device with a brain.
Okay.
So it takes all the information that's been put into it and spits out a response based on its best educated guess of what you're asking.
So
and I imagine it's querying, it's querying the internet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's basically finding information on what you want it to do, and then takes that information and builds some crazy stuff.
So you guys see what's going on though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, between the internet and things like this, and I don't know everything, there's like 4 people in the whole world that know how to do anything.
Yeah, right.
And the rest of us are all just dumb guys and women just reacting. We're not even critical thinkers anymore. We're not proactive. We just do this. With that said, let's have a fun show. I'm just kidding, but it's just kind of weird, man.
We're doomed.
I think it was Rogan. Somebody had a great bit about what would happen if suddenly, like there wasn't electricity, but it was something like this all gets shut down. And then nobody will know. They don't even know how to do anything. They won't even know how to go around the corner. They
couldn't feed themselves.
They couldn't even go from point A to point B because they're always looking down at a map. You know, they wouldn't even know on their phone. I mean, they wouldn't even know how to navigate.
I told my kids the other day, I'm like, just go out and get lost in the car. Like, find your way home. You know, worst case scenario, at least right now, you have a GPS to get you home.
You have something to fall back on.
But that's how I learned as a kid. We had no maps. We had Thomas Guide if I needed it.
The Thomas Guide.
But I'm like, just go drive around the neighborhood and figure your way out.
Get your bearings. Know where the sun's at. Know where the mountains are. Know where your landmarks are. So I'm going east because that's on the left side of the car. You know?
Yeah. Always. East is always left of the car.
That's not what I was saying. I'm just picturing these poor kids lost in some hood somewhere, and you think they're going to get to their phone. They don't have time for that.
Right. Their wheels are gone.
They're going to have their phone.
They're going to be gone.
Somebody else got their phone.
Yeah. So anyway, we thought we would use this OpenAI to create random topics for us to talk about today.
Let's have at it.
So I just told it, give me a topic for our comedy podcast.
So we'll
see what happens.
I feel like we should do just like a game.
Okay.
I think you should just go like one by one.
Outlandish.
You throw the top. I mean, whatever it comes up with. You throw it to somebody, and they get like a minute
to talk about it.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we can all chip in. And then we can all chip in afterwards. But I mean.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, no points or anything. Just
I'll run a timer so I can tell you when you're getting close to your 60 seconds.
And then you just this is the old like debate game. They used to do this. You know, you pull a card and it was about something, and then you had to try to figure out how to speak intelligently about it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that was cool. I remember that.
All right. So you ready?
So you could be funny or serious or whatever, but you know.
Yeah. Preferably funny.
Preferably because it is the comedy food truck. Right. It's not the serious food truck. It's not the library food truck podcast.
Right. The library.
The library.
So the first one it spun up for us is how to survive a family gathering without losing your mind.
Yeah, Scott, go for it.
60 seconds, Scott. Go.
Well, the first thing that you need to do is you need to grab yourself all of the deviled eggs that you've made and go sit in a room by yourself.
Yeah.
And eat all the deviled eggs.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Then what you need to do is you need to go and get yourself a nice big 32-ounce Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
And go back in there and drink that.
Oh.
And as you're doing that, sit there and watch a couple of episodes of Beavis and Butthead. Right?
Yeah.
And then like lay on your back and start rubbing your belly. Right?
15 seconds.
Vigorously rubbing your belly. And then actually once you're done with that,
10 seconds.
Go out into the living room and just let her rip.
Just unload.
Just unload both barrels.
Is it
time?
Is this
1 minute? Perfect.
Is this
everybody's gone?
Is this your family gathering or your wife's? Because I think that makes a difference. Whose family gathering are we at?
That would be mine.
Oh my God!
Without losing your mind. That's hilarious.
You just walk in the room. Hey, everybody. Just wind up.
Jeez.
Just.
Man, that's okay. I like that, Scott.
Nice.
Right?
The old deviled egg and Mountain Dew technique.
Devil do.
Devil do.
Huevos del Diablo.
Or the mountain egg. Huevos de montañas.
Sí, señor.
Oh, man. That's funny.
All right. All right. Do you want to do another one or regenerate one else?
Tis muy no bueno. No
Give this
bueno.
one to Ray. Whatever comes up.
Okay. Awkward situations.
That's it.
Share stories about funny, uncomfortable, or embarrassing moments you've experienced or witnessed, and joke about the different ways people react when caught in awkward situations.
Timer. So I work with this guy. He's a plumber.
Oh gosh.
And
Oh,
he's
no.
working in one of the locker rooms, and he was working on one of the toilets, and he removed it from the stall and walked out with it. And while he had his back to the stall, somebody walked into the stall and shut and locked the door behind him. There should be nobody in there to begin with, like to use the toilet. So he turns around and thinks, why is somebody in here? And he walks up to the door and he says, "What are you, retarded?" And a person walks up and says, "Yes, as a matter of fact, he is," and knocks on the door and says, "You need to come out of there. There's no toilet in there." And the kid came out.
Oh, my
I
gosh.
said, "What did you do?" And he said he went to the stall next to it and put his head in the toilet and flushed it 3 times. 10 seconds to spare. That's pretty awkward. That's pretty awkward. That's pretty awkward.
Oh man.
Wow.
That's bad. That's bad.
You guys have any awkward situations?
Yeah.
I can think of one that
Not
I
one
would-
that I can think of off the top of my head. But I know for sure. Yeah.
That's fine.
You? Anything?
I'm sure. Like
It's
you
hard to
said,
think of them.
Yeah.
It's like you put them out of your head.
Right.
It's like you don't want to think about them because they were so awkward.
Right.
I had one that was awkward. It wasn't, when I was in high school, my cousin and I cut class, and we went downtown to get my mom's keys from her to take her car. And I cut me and my
Hold on a
cousin.
second. Your mom didn't question that you weren't in class? She
Well,
just
no,
gave you
because
the
I
keys?
probably told her something. I don't remember what I told
There
her.
was a
but
reason
it's like,
you were
we
out.
got out early or something like that.
Okay.
And so I got my cousin and I went down there, and maybe it was to get something or whatever. I don't remember. But anyway, we went there to do that. And as we were coming back out from her office where she worked into the elevator, the auto shop teacher class that we were cutting was inside the elevator.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Well, he was cool about it because he was a kind of a hip guy,
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, "Oh, what are you guys doing?" He's like, "Oh, you didn't make my class today, huh?" And he wasn't even in the class because he had to do something, so it was actually a substitute.
So he's playing
but it was
hooky
at that
too.
same time.
That's funny.
So you caught him.
He said he was
Yeah.
kind of a hip guy. You grew up in the 60s. He was a hippie. That's what he was. 60. Your teacher was like, "I just got back from Nam."
Wow.
So
That's
yeah.
cool. Okay.
All right. Here comes another one.
All right.
Oh, something went wrong.
This one's to
Good.
This one's to
Hang on.
John.
That was mine. So now, Jared, your turn.
Hang on.
This is riveting.
Yeah.
I know the audience is like in it.
No, this is the same. It says embarrassing moments. It's kind of the same.
What are you typing in the search?
I typed in, "Give me a topic for our comedy podcast."
Let's be more specific.
Yeah.
Put,
Use the
put
word
something else in
comedy.
there. Comedy podcast. Put in comedy podcast about
How about
furniture.
What?
Just to
how
see
about
what
comedy?
something
how about
obscure.
comedy podcast topics.
Well, it's the same. It'll spit out
It'll
the same
spit
thing.
the same thing.
Yeah.
This is not that smart.
Right.
What kind of AI is it?
Artificial, not so intelligent.
Okay, just put in interesting podcast topics. Maybe they don't have to be funny. We can make them funny. That's what we do. Intriguing,
All right. Give
interesting.
me
What's a good?
an interesting monster should have an interesting hairdo.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
For our podcast.
Da-da-da.
For our
Here it
podcast.
comes.
Yeah.
This just in.
You're not interesting.
Oh, these are serious.
Ooh, good. Get ready.
Deep. It's giving me a bunch. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
Well, now you can stay on that and
Yeah.
toss them out.
Okay. So it's still spitting out. Oh, there's 5 here. The first
it
one
like types it in real time, by the way.
It
So
does,
what Jared's
yeah.
looking at is it's actually populating like somebody's typing it. Click, 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 click. The words
Yeah.
kind of drop in. You got to wait for it to fill out.
Populating.
Yeah.
How intelligent is this thing?
So number 1 says the future of education. With the rise of online learning and new technologies, what will education look like in the next 10 or 20 years?
Wow.
How will it change the way we learn and teach?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a little deep.
That's not that
That's deep.
It's not that kind of deep. We're just gonna have more idiots in the world. People don't have to cut class; they just have to put an image
Yeah.
up that says, I mean, it's.
All right. Is
We're
that-
losing. I think honestly, and this isn't to be funny necessarily, but just what I said earlier. I said this. I think maybe I don't remember if it was on air or not. We sacrificing. It's not just because online, but more recently in education, we just don't teach kids how to critically think.
Right.
Mhm.
Everything is react. Everything is follow the crowd. Everything is all of that.
Speak your mind, be yourself.
Well, or relevant truth, and your
Right.
truth, my truth, all that.
Yeah.
But somehow you're supposed to coexist. You're supposed to coexist with things that can't coexist.
Right.
Right.
How can you coexist if there are some people who say there's 2 genders and some people say there's 15 genders? Somebody's right. Listen, both people can be wrong, but both people can't be right.
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 So I think that's stuff like that. It's just. And so what's happening is people are going to get more and more isolated because, well, I don't have to be in a class with somebody who disagrees with me. I'll just be in a chat, in a room, I guess, with only people who all agree.
Right.
And the teacher agrees and everything else. And then, like I said, pretty soon, just like this thing, there's going to be like 6 people who know how stuff works.
Right.
And everybody else is going to be just dependent. So like I said, the lights will go out or something will be unplugged in some way or something will go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
What those big old electromagnetic pulses? Yeah, EMP.
EMP, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden we're back in the Stone Age.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
What do we do?
Clack, clack, clacking on some rock. And nobody's going to know how to think.
No, get somebody on the head with a bone.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's exciting.
Thanks.
These are
But
boring.
It's also why I also know that the world isn't going to last that much longer.
right.
Right.
I'm typing in. Give me an uncomfortable.
This is your
Medical
topic, by the
procedure.
way.
Yeah. For
Oh.
Medical
Uncomfortable
procedure.
topic for my
Oh no. Here we go.
podcast.
Uncomfortable topic. Like AI.
Here we go.
Okay. One possible uncomfortable topic for your comedy podcast could be the concept of death and dying.
Ah.
While
Well,
death is a
yucks.
serious and sensitive topic, it can also be a source of humor and laughter, especially when approached from unexpected angles or with a dark sense of humor.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Like
I
a
think-
cadaver carousel.
For me,
Go.
I just had 2 shows I used that.
Wow.
People were rolling.
yeah.
They were rolling. They don't know it. I mean, they're sort of that place where they're sort of laughing. It's funny, but it's also a little shock.
Right.
And then they're not sure it's okay to laugh. And then, some poor lady in the front row is rubbing her rosary beads because she thought she was offending her relatives who died. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I think there are some people I know that get uncomfortable when I joke about my mom's death. Because my mom would joke about it. So
Yeah.
I know for
Yeah,
me, it's like...
she would.
Yeah. So, I mean, we had the filter screen in the bottom of our microwave that's above our stove. Just pops out randomly.
This falls.
Yeah.
Bank.
So I'm like, if grandma's a ghost, she's the one doing all this. And so the kids are like, sometimes, I think at first they were like, how do I take this? But there are some people that are like, how can you joke about that? And I think I've said this before, but I'm like, if I don't laugh at death, then death will laugh at me.
Yeah.
So it's, for me, it's just a way of coping and getting it. But that's how our family was or is, We use humor to get past that. So.
Humor.
Humor.
I use humor.
Humor.
It's humorous.
So
Right on.
as in good humor ice cream.
Yes.
Yummy.
Yummy.
Ice cream.
Stupid. All right. I don't know. We have time for maybe one more. Maybe
more
there's like an
all-in
all-in.
comment.
Okay, here's
All
the.
in.
I just another uncomfortable topic. The challenges and absurdities of modern day dating,
Wow, because we've all been in the dating pool.
including topics such as online dating, ghosting, and unsolicited explicit photos.
Oh,
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Yeah.
Unsolicited,
Well,
explicit.
define unsolicited.
Well, I would think that if it's solicited, it's not that awkward.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No soliciting.
I really didn't need to see your teeth that close, but okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have some friends that have done online dating, and it's either one or another. Like there's
What, they love
one
it or
end
they
of
hate
the
it?
spectrum or
There's
the
no
other.
middle ground.
It's either they really had a great experience with it, or it was the worst thing that's ever happened to them, and there is no in between.
That's funny.
Isn't that the same as in just the old days of blind dates?
I think so, but I
Some
think
people like it,
people
and
are
some hate it.
people are weirder now, and they're a little more forward.
Yeah.
Just from what people have told me, it's like it's a jungle out
Well,
there.
the other side of it though is based on our last question or one of our last questions. Everybody's so dumb now; they don't know the right from the left, so they're probably not swiping the right.
Which way
You
do
say
I
swiping or wiping?
Swiping, but that's also a problem.
Right.
Yeah, incorrect wiping could be a problem. As
Front
well.
to back. Front to back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a big dude. That's side to side.
Side to side. Show me paint the fence.
It's more like wax on, wax,
Wax
off,
on,
I
wax
think. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's awkward. That's awkward.
That's an uncomfortable topic.
That is uncomfortable. That's super uncomfortable.
So your toilet paper overhand or underhand on the roll?
Over. Always over.
Over.
Yeah.
Over.
I don't know what you're talking. Fast pitch, slow pitch. What are we talking about?
Does the toilet paper come off the top of the roll, or the front of the roll, or the back of the roll?
Comes over the top.
It's got to come up
That's
over the
only,
top.
Only
I
correct way to
don't,
do it.
I don't have a roll.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Just checking.
I don't have a roll.
I will flip it if I am in somebody's house
Just
and I
a
go to
towel,
use
or
and I
what
go to
is
use their restroom.
No,
I will
just
flip their toilet paper over.
Toilet paper is just sitting on the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you do it manually.
Is there
like
an
a
automatic way?
paper towel spindle.
I'm lost.
Does it sit on a roll that you pull it from?
I don't
or
have
does
a
you
servant. I don't
do you
have
have
a
to
servant.
undo it with both hands.
I don't have a servant who comes along and helps me.
Jeez.
You just stick your hand in it like a mitt and just like a big Q-tip swab.
I'm just gonna
come and unwind the
paper
tissue
towel
paper.
spindle.
just gonna talk about a line that I don't cross. And I'll tell you guys about what goes on in my bathroom.
Wow.
Sorry.
It's like
I'm gonna swipe left on this topic.
Oh man.
oh boy.
It's a jungle out there. These poor dummies.
Right.
You know, I mean, you're not dumb just because you're single, but I'm saying some of these guys, they're too lazy to just. Wow. How do I say this right? The dating world, I don't care what era it is and what technology's been there. It's always been the same. Either you're going out there to look for a mate, which is usually the minority, or you going out there to just to
Hook up.
live it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a lot of how somebody reacts to it depends on what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Because if what you're looking for, let me say this right, where you look and how you look is usually determined by what you're trying to look for. And so the ones, if you're trying to find a mate through, I'm not saying the online can't help a little bit. I get it. But I'm going to stay in my house. I'm not going to meet anybody. I'm going to be overworked. I'm going to be busy. But then somehow I'm going to meet somebody because I'm looking at some images on a phone. It's just not going to happen.
I was going to say, just by nature, it starts very shallow. It's a very shallow approach to
Right.
it. You're just literally swipe, and all you're not even taking a minute to even read anything.
Yeah.
You're just looking. You're literally looking right on the certain. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. It's like
Yeah.
It's kind of just forces you to just be more sort of, shallow looks and stats based instead of somebody's character. You can't see character in a profile. Sorry.
right.
And I think that the other irony is people will tell you what they want to find. I'm not talking about the people who are just dead honest, just go, yeah, man, I just want to sleep around and I don't care. That's probably what that kind of thing's for. But if and I don't think that's a great idea for your life, but if you're trying to see somebody of quality, then you have to ask yourself, like, where do people like that hang out? I mean, where are they at?
Yeah,
they're not going to be. I mean, sure, lots of people that are from all kinds of walks of life are on an app, but typically in the old days, they go to a club or they go to whatever, and then they say, "Oh, I'm trying to meet somebody nice." Well, you're not going to meet somebody nice at a meat market. I mean, that's just
Right.
It's not what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think, I know there's, Christian apps and other apps that you can kind of help define some of that.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something for professionals or something, whatever. But at the end of the day,
They're all the same.
I could see why it's a jungle. I mean, it's just a tough way to try to meet people.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody's in such a hurry all the time. You try and cancel culture. You put all that together, and it's like,
Yeah.
you don't have a chance. I mean, it's hard to have a chance because you got to try to make a decision in one night, and then you just cut them loose, and then it's, or you're worried about you're going to get cut loose. It's just creates a lot of insecurity and a lot of stuff that just it's not healthy.
Yep.
And sometimes you're just like, I just don't want to be lonely. Well,
Yeah. Sometimes it's better.
Yeah.
well, you can be alone without being lonely,
Right.
Yes.
and that's a skill people need to learn.
Yeah.
And it is. It's not something we're intuitively born with, but yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know we went serious.
That's cool.
Yeah, we'll talk about another show, but I'm also tired of the new culture of some of these things you got to go to now as a dude that you didn't have to used to go to.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to fill me in on that.
I'm just saying, when did they? It's too late. We'll talk about it some other time. We'll talk about it another time. Yeah. So I don't even know what to put in the chat. You want to put a question in the chat? Maybe we'll.
Yeah.
Topics. We haven't done that in a while.
Topics.
Maybe some topics you guys like to see us talk about.
Yeah.
Or
randomly generate your own topic.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah. Or maybe you just like, please stop talking about this, whatever it is, and we'll take our criticism with it. We won't listen, but we'll take it. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. All right, guys. Well, that was a good show. I like that little. Yeah, we'll use it again sometime.
Okay.
Think of better questions, and we'll think of maybe try to use. I kind of like that little fast round of just throwing something out and letting people riff.
Yep.
Riff.
Riff it.
Or if Scott, rip.
Rip it.
Right. You started to say something.
What?
Oh, man.
What is happening?
I don't know what Scott's doing.
Why is it out?
He's back in the submarine.
Let's get out of here.
Yep. All right, guys. We'll see you
All
next
right,
time.
guys. Cheerio.
See ya.